Hello, it's Nikki, and as we get to the end of September, spoiler alert, that means a new month is ahead. So what do you want to do? What is on your heart, in your head, on a piece of paper at 4 o'clock in the morning because you can't sleep? That was me this morning. I want to help you to get excited about your dreams and where you go next. And the funny thing is that the shops want you to get into Christmas mode already. I mean, I was guilty myself. I was reading with my children, educational reading, the M&S Christmas food catalogue. And for a moment, I got stuck into that. I got stuck into settling down, easing out of the year. And I had to check myself and stop and say, whoa, hang on a minute. Yes, of course, you can rest at the end of the year and enjoy your time off, etc. But for now, my friend, this is how I talk to myself, you've got work to do. You've got things that you want to do, because essentially what I was doing was, in my head, I was sitting down with one of their new excellent, I think it's like a salted caramel cheesecake. It's all the things. And my daughter was just like, oh yes. I was like, yeah, we are related, totally. Essentially, I was reading this magazine, and in my head I was taking off the last 3 months of the year, which is silly because I know that I've got loads of stuff that I want to be, do, have, and feel. And I've got a lot of really exciting, good momentum and visions and clarity at the moment. But yet I was getting sucked into that marketing. Now, that's not to say that I won't be buying some chocolate before the 21st of December. But it also does mean that I am going to be continuing to keep an eye on what it is that I want to do in this last quarter. And also, I know for me personally, this is often my best quarter. This is the moment for me, and I'm always just in a race with myself, where I essentially take over the version of me that was there for the 9 months and come round the bend and go, yeah, all the way in. I've got a birthday in November. I know for me something happens at that point, that sort of month, that day of reflection as well. So yes, if you want to discuss the Marks and Spencer's Christmas food catalogue, do slide into my DMs, because there's a lot to discuss. I should have actually had it to hand, so we could go over a few things now. But I don't, it's in the other room. The second thing, or rather it should be the first, but I got distracted by the food. If you want to make some moves before the end of the year, let's book into some time together. And also, one final thing I should say is, even though you might try and convince yourself right now, as I have done many times over the years, that automatically on the 1st of January, you're going to feel very different about everything, it's probably not true. You're probably going to be full of cheese and wine, little sleep. It'll be cold outside. You won't really want to do anything or go anywhere. You'll just be having a nice time, and you won't be in work mode. You won't be in that space of like, yes, let's totally do this. So if you want to begin this process now, let's absolutely do something. You can use my very fancy, brilliant, I absolutely adore it button on my website, the messenger button, and get in touch and tell me what it is that you want to have in place. Because these things don't just happen automatically. And if I've learned nothing else in my almost 43 years on the planet, nothing just kind of magically appears. And I know that contradicts what people talk about, like in terms of manifesting, like I really visualized it and then it just arrived. You have to take action, is my view. You have to meet it halfway. I always talk about our old house where we used to live. It was on a really busy junction, and it was a great spot for people watching. And the amount of times that I would look out my window and I would see somebody shouting across the traffic lights like, "Hi, how are you?" The other person would be like, "All right, yeah." And they wouldn't go beyond that. And there would always be that moment where they'd sort of look at each other like, all right, we can't really hear each other now, so we're just going to do this awkward big gesturing, and then we're going to go our separate ways. And that, for me, is what manifesting is all about, is that even if they, on opposite sides of the road, came halfway, there was even like a little area with a wall and flowers and things like that where they could come and convene. That's what you have to do with the universe or your dreams or the things that you want to create. You have to be willing to take steps. And in turn, when you move closer, your dreams begin to come closer as well. I hope that's been useful. If you have ideas and if they are imperfect as well, I'm very interested in those early stages. I think there is this thinking that we have to have everything done and in alignment and fully formed and finished. And it's not the case. We wouldn't do that with our children, saying, right, I'm now going to give you some time because I have deemed you perfect. We wouldn't do it. And so we have to have that grace, that compassion, that love with ourselves as well. Because sometimes it will take that beginner's mindset. It will take some courage and starting again and being willing to have a go and to put yourself in a new chapter. Hope that's been useful. Any questions? My DMs are open. And that button, try it on my website, nickyraby.com. It's ace, and it only comes to me. You won't get a robot or a bot. I'm showing like my age, like, oh, I'm a bit scared of the internet. I'm not scared of this button though. I know exactly what it does. And I know that those messages just come directly to me. So I hope this has been useful or inspiring or motivating, or just a little reminder that you are important. And so are your goals and hopes and dreams, and you have them within you for a reason. They are ready to blossom and flourish and be out there in the world. Lots of love.